right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is This Album Changed My Life, episode 3. We are here with Glenn and his boy Travis Davis, aka the Trav Dav. Trav, thanks for
Hello.
joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
Who we hope is ready to talk about the album that he said he wanted to talk about, which is
The Anatomy of the Tongue in Cheek by Relient K.
that is right. This album changed his life. So we are here with Travis, who we hope is smooth and good with talking. So we're hoping that this is going to go well. So we'll see. So everyone, thanks for joining us. My personal story with Relient K, which I alluded to in the marketing for this, is I love the Christmas album. Okay, I love it. I love Let It Snow, Baby Let It Reindeer. I love
Yeah.
Celebrate the Day. It almost makes me cry. Like if I listen to it and like really listen to it, Celebrate the Day almost makes me cry every time. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. Okay.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
I have never listened to a Relient K album, not once, other than the Christmas record. So when the assignment popped up, I understood the assignment. I dug in. I've got notes. So we're ready to go.
Right on.
So we hope you are all not sick of Relient K and all the songs they play, because if you are, you're probably going to turn this off and not listen to us. So yeah, anyway. And I got to tell you, when that hit, I literally started laughing, and I had to start the song over. Like, did they say what I think they just said? And I'm driving, and I had to start it over. I'm
That's
like, oh
so
my
funny.
God. Oh my God. Did they just say
Did
that?
you
Okay.
did you just listen to this album or did you listen to more of
I did
their
just the required reading. I wanted to talk about it and then move forward from there. So yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, so Glenn, this is your boy. So why don't you take it away? I'm gonna let you drive on this one, and yeah, let's go.
Let's get it. Travis, first of all, my first question is, will you go with me to the Sadie Hawkins Dance?
100%. And I'll
Let's go.
iron my
Let's
khaki
go.
pants.
Dude, that bass line. Dee, 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 dee. Anyways.
That's another time I laughed out loud, is when that little vocal. Oh, oh, oh!
Oh, dude.
I'm
Oh man,
literally driving,
classic.
laughed out loud.
That song is
Yeah.
absolutely goated. Yeah, we'll get into all this, but for the homies, I've known Travis for, bro, probably like 16 years, maybe more.
Yeah, like 15 or
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Oh,
Travis was in my wedding. Travis is one of my best and dearest friends in the whole world. So glad you get to be on here. We get to talk about some Relient K. It was between this and Angels and Airwaves, correct?
It was between this and Switchfoot.
Switchfoot. Yeah. So
ah,
Yeah.
beautiful letdown.
big.
Nothing is Sound. The one
Okay, also
after.
good album. Also good
Yeah.
album. Yeah, which would have been
Which
the AVA album.
We Don't Need to Whisper.
Okay, yeah, all right. We can
Yeah.
talk about that later if you want, because I got thoughts about that album too.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
ready.
we
I'm,
can we
how
can
We
much
can
go
talk
how,
about
we can
that
go
one too.
crazy.
I
We
can
how
go
much
do try
deep
time
to
do
on
you
that
keep
got?
one.
these. We do try to keep these to 30 minutes, but we can press on
Bonus
with more.
episode, maybe. Bonus
Did you
episode. Yeah.
did you like the pun there? We'll keep pressing on. Okay, let's jump in because we can go crazy on this. Trav, how old were you when excuse me, when you first heard this album?
I would have been 11. I was in
Is that
fifth grade.
Did it come out when you were 11, or did you hear it for the first time when you were 11?
Um, it was right around between the end of 10, right around when I turned 11. I couldn't tell you exactly. I don't remember the exact year, but
Yeah, it's oh
it
two. I think. I looked it up. I think it's oh 02.
that sounds right. It
Yeah.
was their sophomore album, and that was like my what I would say was the soundtrack of my fifth grade year. So I think it came out um, when I was 11. I
Okay.
guess. Well, no, '02. I would have been 10. So yeah, 10, 11, somewhere around there.
So paint
And I
us a
heard it.
picture. How did it go down?
Man, that was the Sadie Hawkins Dance was the song that really popped off for my class, and I heard it in school. And um, the life changing moment, I think, was when I got the CD for my 11th birthday. And back then, we had what was called CD-ROMs, and so we had the songs on one side, and the one that I had was double sided, and so you could flip it over and put it into our giant family computer desk computer, and it would show like a picture of the band and a clickable button, and it would play the song or the music video for pressing on. And I would sit there with chopsticks in hand and would play it on repeat and watch Dave Douglas play, because it was revolutionary to me because I grew up with old country and contemporary Christian worship music, and that was predominantly what was played. I think the most outside the box, other than that, was POD. But watching a music video of a pop punk band, like that was the christening of it all, and or the genesis, I should say. And
Dude,
so,
you're taking me way back because I forgot about those two-sided CDs that you could put in the computer and get like
oh
a
man,
video. Dude,
Bro,
that is like weapons grade nostalgia that I just had forgot about.
yeah,
weapons
dude,
grade. Bro,
Weapons
I'm gonna use
grade.
that. I like that.
here's the thing. The older I get, the more I keep saying kids will never understand. But bro, that was so ahead of its time to have a clickable, like you
Oh,
put something into your computer, you click it, and then a music video pops up. It's like so ahead of its time. Like,
well, because that was the time, like right before and around when DVDs started coming out, and you
yeah,
would
Hmm.
actually like if you got a new VHS, it would show like now available on video and DVD, and
Hmm.
or and so the CD-ROM was like the predecessor to the DVD, I would say.
dude,
So yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
good times. So you heard this then, like. How did that happen? How did you said you stumbled across it because of like your school, and then did you go buy the album, or like paint me the picture of like you heard it and you're like, oh, I got the CD-ROM and now I have to have this. Like, is that how it went down?
No, it was a birthday gift.
Okay, cool.
I'm sure I heard it at a school party, get together, after school thing or whatever. And it was just played, in our friend group. I went to a small school and everyone knew everyone. So everyone heard everyone else's music. And that one was like one of the few that everyone liked. And one of my friends gave it to me for my birthday. And when I knew, oh, this has Sadie Hawkins Dance on it, then you listen to the whole thing. And I mean, man, I was thinking about it today. Like that was really the beginning of like understanding a band, because for me, it was always like listening to this artist or that artist, or, oh, this group put out this CD. But witnessing a band play a song and the idea of a music video and the silliness of the music, that was all super
Yeah.
Very
new.
silly
And
album.
I mean, the
yeah.
title gives it all away. I mean, right there, the anatomy of the
Yeah.
tongue in cheek. And I was like, when you guys first told me about it, I didn't know this album was called that. And it's like that's kind of funny. And then right off the bat, we hope you're not sick of Relient K and all
Yes,
the songs
bro.
they play, because then you'll throw our CDs away. Like, come on, guys. It's
It's
just like,
so good.
oh, oh, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
And
what's crazy is they
oh,
like
sorry.
the album is good. Like,
it is.
it
It
is.
is.
There's some cheesy like lyrics like that, but like you listen, and you're like, oh, bro, this is like mad ahead of its time. Like Matt
Well,
Hoops writing these guitar riffs and his tone, and you're just like, bro, you could look back now and you're like, this is solid, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's not cheesy. Like, it's good. The lyrics might be fun and like, good for the contemporary Christian scene back then, and they're innocent, but like, it was sick. You know what I mean? Like, no one was doing this. It was dope. So,
Yeah. Well, and two, what I thought about today, I was listening back. The album before that, they had a different drummer. And that
mm,
album is really silly. Like it talks
hmm,
about Marilyn Manson eating my girlfriend and song about Marty McFly and you know, but this song, it's like it was almost a transitional album because it's got those funny lyrics in there and they're talking about the Thundercats. But then when you
yes.
hear a song
How do
like
they get away with that? How do they get away with the Thundercat stuff? Like,
a lot of licensing, I'm sure, or
that was
just
probably before that even had to, you know what I mean? That wasn't
it might not have
like,
been a thing.
yeah.
But then you hear a song on there like "Failure to Excommunicate,"
yeah.
and it's more of a like a kind of a serious song. Um, and then when you look at, I think that's the next song was "Chapstick," or the next album was "Two Lefts Don't Make a Right, but Three Do,"
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
that song became a little more serious and less silly. And then you get to the album, I think, and that was predominantly like more serious songs. And so it felt like the anatomy was kind of the beginning shift from all silly to like I don't know how else to say that, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. But
Yeah. I mean,
you
they matured lyrically, but also like their music was very ahead of its time, even in, 01, 02 when it came out. And then,
mhm.
they evolved. So, That's pretty cool. All right, so Trav, you're listening to this album, you're like, dude, this is the best. You're talking about like, using chopsticks and like playing to the drum parts. What was going on in your life when you encountered this that like made you feel like this album, you look back and you go, this is the album that changed my life? Like what about what was happening and then what this album did for you made it change your life?
I couldn't really tell you like emotionally or anything like that what the time of life was like, but this was the album that propelled me into playing the drums. I fell in love with watching Dave play and like just wanted to be like with, again, like I said, like not only that was the first time I really ever saw a music video, that was the first time I ever really saw a drummer, playing, and I thought it was the most mesmerizing thing. And and so when my 12th birthday was coming around, my parents asked me, "What would you like for your birthday?" I said a drum set. And I never had a lesson, never really played any other instrument, had a couple guitar lessons, and had no idea what I was getting into either. Um and at the time money was tight too, so it was like, is this even, it might not even happen. And I will never forget the night before my 12th birthday walking into our living room to a really big cardboard box and a small cardboard box on top, and being completely oblivious to the idea that it could be a drum set, and opening the top box and seeing my first snare drum, which I still have, and my first
Mm.
pair of sticks. And that, dude, like that just began. I mean, Glenn knows better than anybody. Like that began this lifelong obsession, which is now what I do, every day. And that's the changing life part. And then, not only what I do as far as being a drummer, but that album also really opened my eyes to um, the rest of the music world. I got introduced to, my cousin was really into music, so he introduced me into like Beautiful Letdown, Foo Fighters. He introduced me to Blink, AC/DC, Black Sabbath, Newfound Glory, um, and and then it just branched out from there. And but I owe that to Reliant K, because that was the beginning of the spider web that was learning about music and the whole world behind it.
Dude, I have almost the exact same story. I was 12 years old and I decided I wanted to play drums, and my parents bought it for me for Christmas. And I walked
No
out and there it
way.
was, dude. I have almost the exact same story. I was in eighth grade, and
That's so
yeah,
sick.
changed my
Yeah,
life.
it was fun. Oh, sorry.
Changed my life. I mean, I always like to joke with people. This is a family friendly podcast, okay? I always like to joke with people. Playing drums on stage is the second most fun thing on earth. And then when people ask what the first thing is, I say, "I'll tell you when you're older."
There, yeah. What's funny is that time YouTube was not around. It wasn't a thing. And there was no instruction manual to how to set up a drum set. And so I can only imagine how god awful the tuning was. Um, and I remember very naively cutting off the snare wires because I didn't think that they were part of it. And then later, a friend who played drums was like, "No, you need those." And but I remember wrestling with figuring out how to put the hoops on the kick drum with the claws, and I was like, "How does
Yep.
this?" And
Yep.
then figuring it out. But I think that
Yeah. Yep.
yeah. But I love that that's there was that struggle, because it's even today. I think about that and how far I've come in almost 22 years, and like those humble beginnings. I think really it's fun to think back on. So when y'all asked me to do this, I was like, oh man, like I can't wait to relive that and talk about this. So, but that was the life changing thing. That was the catalyst to play drums, and the eye opening to the rest of the music world. And then
The
it just
best.
blossoms from there.
The best. Playing drums is the best. Like, I don't know if you ever did this, and maybe this is unique to me, but there's times when you're playing drums, and if you play drums long enough, you can see that like people will watch the drummer, right? People will watch the drummer to see
Yeah.
something cool happen. And so you get to like you do a fill somewhere going, verse to chorus or whatever, and you see someone like kind of light up, right? So then the next time the song comes around, like you try to do something even cooler, right? Do you do this when you see someone and then you try to do something cooler,
Oh
and
yeah.
then you see that person light up again, and it's like it's cheesy, but it's like, this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like to hit that 3-pointer, right? This is what it feels like
Yes.
to hit that home run. And
Yes.
I know it's the cheesiest thing, playing for 125 people at church or whatever, but it still feels
Right.
great, you
Oh
know.
yeah, when that 6-year-old, yeah, there was a kid. I remember one of the last times I played at this church in Austin. There was a kid who was like right up on stage, and he must have been 5 or 6 years old. And I see him over there just waving his hands in the air. But I was like, if like I'm there for one reason, but it's really cool to be. I would like to think like if I can inspire someone else because of what I love to do, then that's gift enough, you know.
Trav's out there melting faces for sure. 6-year-old
Yeah,
faces.
facts, bro. Facts. Yeah, that's it's sad, man, because as a bass player, bro, we don't get that attention, you know? That's it's something we long for our whole life, and I still haven't got there.
But
So
if you mess up, at least it stands out really bad. So
yeah,
at least you
exactly.
got that going
If
for
you
you.
mess up as the bass player, it's the worst instrument to mess up on.
It's funny
Trav, do
you
you
say
have
that.
this?
Sorry,
Do
go
you
ahead.
have this where if you mess up, like when you get to that part of the song and you try to like do something that kind of sounds like you messed up to make it seem like you meant to? Do you do that, or is that just me?
Mm, I think that if you're able to do that well, you're a real craftsman. To make a mistake seem intentional,
Yeah,
I think is really special. I
I
don't
try. Like,
know that I do that though.
yeah, it's like
I
if
think
I accidentally, you like sometimes you almost drop the stick, or like it just comes out weird, or like the timing is just a little off. When that part comes around, I'll try to like do something similar. Like I'm thinking about it the whole way there. Like, what am I gonna do when we get back there?
yeah, I think I'm more blinded by the sweat that immediately just starts pouring
Nah.
over my face
You
when
know what you do
from
about that? Here's
embarrassment.
what you do about that. That's how you
I
solve that
know.
problem.
I need to get a
Yeah,
sweatband or something. And I
yeah.
We
have
need to
no
put like
hair to
a
hold it, so it all just showers down.
we're gonna get that cloth over your head, just like a washcloth. So all right, let's keep rolling. This is fun. You talked about how this album, it changed your life really is because it got you into playing drums, which is so cool. It literally is the trajectory of your life and where you're at now. So it makes me emo because it's cool to hear that story for you of like, hey, this is what made me hyped and want to play drums, and you stuck with it. And so super dope. Let's talk about real quick what's your favorite song on this album and how come?
Gosh, I mean, you would think it'd be pressing on because that was the one. I did a drum cover to Sadie Hawkins Dance, not to plug, but it's on my YouTube channel, and I am wearing
Hey,
khaki pants in it. Um,
Woo, woo.
but
What's
I
your
would,
handle, bro? What's your handle on YouTube, bro?
I think it's the Trav Dav as well.
the
Oh,
Pretty
Trav
sure I
Dev.
got it.
go check out the
Yeah.
Trav
The Trav
Dab
Dev.
on YouTube.
Um,
You heard me.
man, uh, gosh, I really like failure to excommunicate.
Mm.
Because it's such a dynamic, it's like, I don't want to say it's heavy, but there's a lot to it. And what I love about it is Dave actually sings vocals in it. Whenever you hear the vocals come in and he's like, it's the principle, it's the issue, that's their drummer Dave singing. And then Matt comes in on the chorus. And
That's
Dave will
fire.
go on later in other albums to do um harmonic vocals or vocals period. But I think that one would probably be my favorite because it's such a, you can hear the emotion in it, and it's a very dynamic song. So failure to excommunicate, I think it's track 10, if
It's the
10 or
second to last one,
11.
I think. I think it's towards the end because I definitely,
Yeah,
yeah. I think that was the
Okay.
one at the beginning. I thought it had System of a Down vibes. There was something with the like riff that I was like, "What is
yeah,
going
I can
on
see
here?"
that.
This dude, this
Bro,
I wrote down
I would
I
never think System of a Down and Relient K in the same
just the
sentence.
riff, just the intro. I was like, "What's going on here?" I wrote down a lot of
Now,
notes, man. I had Blink, I had No Effects, I had MXPX, I had Ataris, heavy Ataris. I thought
oh
Ataris for
yes,
sure.
dude, yes, Boys of
Some
Summer,
Finch,
Ataris.
some of that like big riffy intro, like the big bang and riffy, and then Reggie, man, the fifth track. I don't have the name right here, but I just wrote down Reggie exclamation point because it
Reggie in the
sounds like
full
that.
effect, bro?
Yeah, with the
uh
keyboards and just like it
Oh,
just sounded like
yeah.
heavy Reggie for me for sure.
fifth track would have
Reggie.
been Down in Flames, I think.
Yeah,
Down in Flames, or maybe it's Maybelline. Can't
Maybe it's
remember.
Maybelline is the fifth track.
the I had definitely heard Pressing On. Like when it came on, I'm like, oh, I've heard this before. Like I didn't know what it was, but I knew I'd heard that before. And I think
Nice.
maybe I'd heard Maybe It's Maybelline before also. Um, you
But
talked
your
about the
first time hearing
lyrics.
Sadie Hawkins Dance.
Oh yeah, that was my first time hearing Sadie Hawkins. You talked about the lyrics, and it's funny because we talked about the cheesiness, but they're doing that thing where like there's something cheesy, and then there's some like profound truth, right? There's some profound statement about American Christianity, and this is 2002, right? This isn't today. This is 24 years ago, you know.
Right.
They're doing that thing where like the music sounds fun and happy, and then like this content is actually like it's silly at times, but then it's actually very deep. Like maybe it's Maybelline. We're talking about how we're all sinners and we're all broken and blah blah blah. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's Maybelline, which is just this jingle from the
Yeah.
'90s. Like, bro, what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah. I think that's a testament to the songsmith that Matt Thiessen is. And I think what really, as a fan of Matt, what really shone a light on that even more was I think it's on the album. I cannot remember. I'm blanking on this title track, but he says the word or he says the phrase reverberating footsteps. And I heard the yeah, it's on uh Who I Am Hates Who I've Been
Hmm.
on the album. And when the fact that he was able to say reverberating footsteps to me was like, wow, how did he fit that in? And then when you go and listen to their other songs, you hear words. It's as though he was like, what's a good word? Like, okay, what word do I want to put? And then what's a
Hmm.
great complex synonym for that? And then let's
Yep.
figure out how to put it in.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, whether it's the subject matter or even just the words that he chooses, um, I think that's where they go beyond that silly band, and more you see like how really creative they are, just in the songwriting. And I think Matt Thiessen wrote all of the songs on this album by himself, except for I think it was Failure to Excommunicate, and Matt Hoops co-wrote. I think it was that song. Anyway, side
Yeah,
note.
Switchfoot.
the I think one of the hardest things to do is to write sad songs that sound happy, right? And you
Yeah,
got a couple of those on this, like something that's like actually pretty deep and maybe like kind of sad is actually sounds happy, sounds poppy, like I think that's one of the hardest things to do. I'll never forget like growing up, I used to hear "Call Me Out" like Paul Simon and the video with Paul Simon and Chevy Chase, and like Chevy Chase is just sitting in the chair singing and he's bringing out all these instruments, and I just thought that was like the fun, happy video. And then I get to adulthood and Call Me Out comes on, and I'm just like, this is profound. This is about how hard life is and like how we've
yeah,
all
dude.
got this burden and like
You hear it
what
totally
happened to the
differently.
fun? Like where's the bongo? Like, I
Yeah,
thought
Dude,
this is not at all what I thought it was when I was six. Like whoosh,
yeah.
right.
That's the same thing with Damn It by Blink-182 is like
right?
that's a really sad breakup song. And it's like the music
Dude.
video's mad fun. He's like oohing and ahhing over I forgot who the actress is in the video, but like super hype. And then like I think it was like 2017 or something. There's a guy that made like an acoustic cover of it, and I was like, "Damn, this song is sad." And then I like listened to
Right.
the lyrics, and I was like, "This is really sad." Like pop punk has a way of doing that, man, where you can they write sad songs that you can relate to, but in a happy way, and so you feel like you're
Hmm.
like, you know what I mean? You're like, "Yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not sad. I'm happy."
Well, it's
Uh,
interesting too, 'cause especially when we're hearing them when we're teenagers. We have no idea
Yeah.
how the world works.
no frame of
And you
reference.
just
No
Yep.
frame of reference.
you
You
have
know
like a
about
filter.
girls?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then 20 years later, when you're married or have kids or have just paid a bill on your own, and you hear
Yeah.
that song again, you're like, wow, like
Yeah.
what? Like I had no clue how deep this went. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, they really knew what was going on before we did. So that's fun. Did you do you listen to this album often, bro? Like is this something that like you go back to pretty often?
It's so funny you asked that. The last few months, and we this is that's a whole nother podcast, but the last few months have really been a going back to the beginning for me, and just like cutting out the fluff that you collect through life, whether it's who you think you are or uh, what you've allowed, like stuff that you take on, whether it's good or bad. And for me, I'm like, okay, when was I the happiest aside from being a dad and a husband? And it was when I was, between I would say '05 and '08, and like the music I was listening to then. And so to answer your question, I've listened to it a lot more recently than you would imagine. That and Five Score and basically Relient K and Switchfoot, the two bands that really like I would consider like I would say are like those bands mean a lot to me. I've really strictly listened to them for like the last 5 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's legit.
So I've listened to this album at least a handful of times front to back.
Okay. Yeah, this is that album where it's like you feel like, it's so cool, man. I talked about this. We talk about it every time, but it's like it's just so profound how music can like teleport you back to that, where it's like you're talking about you could have music teleport you back to wherever you want, but you're talking about the beginning where you're like, dude, this is like where it started. I want to go back to that and like just relive that. It's so cool how like it can awake something in your brain and like make you feel that way. Yeah, music's awesome like that.
Yeah.
I'm a new
Well,
oh, go ahead, bro.
I was just going to say, like I was saying a minute ago, we talk about hearing these songs when we're teenagers and you hear it one way. And then as an adult, you realize what they were actually saying. In the
Mhm.
same way, like I wrestle with the word nostalgic because I feel like when something makes me feel nostalgic, it feels temporary, where it's like I'm having a moment of reliving being 13 or a moment of reliving this moment then. And it's like, okay, well, we talk about if you could go back then with what you know now, what would you have done? And within reason, I like to think like, okay, well, how can I live now the way I wanted to live then? And as an adult, still listening to those songs and now hearing those lyrics differently, as a songwriter, as a producer, and even just as a person, how can that affect me with a more clear idea of what it means to be a human and a person? So I guess to say that is like rather than going back with what I know now, how can I take that then and bring it to now? And bring like why does joy have to be then? If why does that have to be the good old days? Like why
Mhm.
can't those good old days be now with what I know now? You know.
Yeah,
So sorry that went really deep there, but
No, we love it,
that's
I
bro.
hear you.
That's what it's all
Yeah,
about.
we're all about authenticity.
Yeah. Nah, it's cool too because like it almost too gives you like a fresh perspective of listening to the albums too. Like, because you're listening to it now with like, sometimes some of these albums, like if we've heard them, 20 plus years ago and then forgot, we're like, oh, dude, that album means a lot to me. But then like you haven't really listened to it as much, and then something hits you in life, and like you're in a different place, and you have this fresh eyes for it, or like ears technically. You know what I mean? Where it's like I can like listen to this now and like yes, I did have joy then, and now I have joy now, and this is what's going on in my life, and like this is carrying with me through it all.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well,
I
my
feel like only music can do
sorry.
that, which is really sweet.
Well, and it's cool to be on this side of it too. My wife just chimed in and said that my oldest son has "May the Horse Be With You" stuck in his head, and that's been a cool thing. Is like now my kids, like when I get to share my favorite music with them, and they're asking for, "Hey, can we listen to Switchfoot Stars or May the Horse Be With You?" And full circle moment. It's really cool.
What's
That's
the secret
awesome.
to that? Because my kids will not listen to my music. What's the secret? Did I just not start early enough?
Um, there was for a while, it was when we got in the car, they were the DJs. And then my wife and I just decided one day, we're like, no, we're the DJs. And well, I'm like, hey, if I'm going to be a musician dad, I have to do right by you and introduce you
Hmm.
to good bands and good music. And I just kind of, it sounds bad, but I just kind of force them. So I'm just like, no, we're playing dad's music, and I just turn
Yeah.
it up, and they thankfully they latched on. But yeah, it's just I'm just the DJ. So I
Now
I,
your
I,
music
wi-
is dad rock.
I wish I had more advice for you, man.
I already failed. It's too late.
Brett, don't you only have girls too?
I have two girls. I have
Yeah,
13 and 9. Yeah.
that makes
A
it
lot
a tiny
of
bit harder. I feel like because Taylor
the
Swift is,
13-year-old's a big Swifty. Yeah, big
yeah.
Swifty. They like the K-pop Demon Hunters. The younger one, Everly, actually, she likes some of the like Stomp and Holler and like folky kind of stuff. She likes Noah Khan, Kaon, however you say it.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
We're going to see Somber when Somber comes. So
Oh,
we're gonna see
cool.
that dude. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of fun. But yeah, she likes all the like. I played her some of the Lumineers and stuff like that. She likes some of that stuff. So
There you
that's
go.
been interesting.
Nice.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
2013 indie folk stuff. That also has a beautiful nostalgic memory. I love.
yeah.
I get to show my dog all of this music, and she just kind of and just lays down. I'm like, yeah, Iron Maiden's
Drags her,
good, huh, Willow? Yeah, she loves it, so she can
just
fall
drags her
asleep
ears
to
on the ground. Loves it.
it.
Yeah,
She
pass it
sniffs
down.
more. Yeah, she sniffs. So, all right, let's wrap this up. I'm gonna ask you my favorite question in this whole thing, which is, what would you say to that version of you, like now, to the version of you then? Like, what would you want to let them know? The Travis that was listening to this album then, if you could just say something to them, present day, teleport you back then. What are you saying to him?
Wow. I feel like the stereotypical answer would be it gets better,
Hmm.
but I would say I would say hang on, because knowing what I went through for 15, 16, 17 years just personally, it like time life was good in 5th grade and life was never bad, but I would say just hang on and get through it, you know. Um that's very vague, but hang on, it gets better. I mean, I would say that.
And your
It'll
wife
be
says
worth.
you're gonna. Your wife says also tell him you're gonna marry that girl in 10th grade.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I met my wife in high school and had a big crush on her, and then we didn't see each other for like 10 years. And then here we are now. Yeah. I mean, if I would also
That's what the
say,
anatomy of the tongue in cheek means.
There you go.
yeah, I would also say to,
Family friendly
Sorry.
show.
Oh yeah,
Right,
my
Glenn.
bad. No,
Family
no, that
friendly.
was
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
I would also say to Trav, like that, like keep playing the drums and this album matters. And like stick that in your brain. So, however you would wrap that in a present and hand it to him, that's what I would say.
Heck yeah. Is there any closing thoughts? Anything else you want to impart on the on anybody listening about this album, about anything going on that you want to talk about?
Gosh, I mean, yeah. Again, how much time do you have? Uh, there's a lot. Um, uh, no, I mean, just go listen to it. Just, I mean, like just enjoy it and listen to. I would say if I was introducing anyone to new music, I would say listen to all of Relient K's discography, um, and all of Switchfoot's discography, and watch all of the documentaries, and it will change your life. That like, as far as what's going on with me, I'm playing drums. I said I'd never play in a cover band, and I'm now playing in two. And Glenn, I don't know if I told you, I had written an EP about 10 years ago that was heavily inspired by Relient K and Switchfoot, and a 6-song acoustic songwriter EP that Glenn played bass on. And in a couple weeks, I'm going to start writing the follow up to that, and it'll be almost to the date about 10 years later. And
Dang,
we'll
let's
see,
Awesome.
man.
go.
It's going to
That's
Do
be
you
a
awesome.
have a
real.
title for it?
Uh, oh, you would ask me that.
Waiting on the Moon?
No. Uh, Morning. It's called Morning.
Like
The EP the
MOU
EP
or
was
MOR?
MOR. The
Okay.
EP originally was called Waiting on the Sun, and so Morning is
Mm,
the other side. And so it's
I see
about
what we
my
did there.
kids and my wife, and um, just where I am now versus where I was then. So that's all I got going on.
Let's go. All right. Well, then we'll
I got
have
Thank you.
one
to
more question. I
get
got
it.
one
Yes.
more question. I've got the album cover pulled up here. Okay. Can you
All
see
right.
the album cover in your head? Do you know what it looks like?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one of these dudes is which? I'm gonna guess. So I'm gonna have you tell me if I'm right. Okay.
I don't know the bass player's name, but I remember the
The
rest. Go
tall,
ahead.
the tall blonde dude is the bass player, right? For sure.
No.
No. Okay, I'm 0 for 1. Okay. I was gonna say dude number 3 is the singer.
Nope.
No, oh, well, I'm 0 for 2. All right, well, I'm pretty bad at this then, so never mind. I
You
was
could
I
you
can
could
tell you.
get you could
So
get 50%. So who's the
I would have
second
bet
guy?
I would have bet any amount of money that the tall blonde dude was the bass player. I would have bet any amount of money for that. Yeah, just looking at them.
it's
We should have.
reversed. So
Yeah.
left to right is Matt Thiessen, Matt Hoops, bass player, and Dave Douglas. Matt Thiessen, the blonde one, is the lead singer.
Okay.
Matt Hoops is the lead guitar. Third
Okay.
guy is the bass player,
Okay.
and the guy at the end, Dave Douglas, is the drummer / backing vocals.
I would have guessed all of those things wrong. I would have guessed bass player, drummer, singer, guitar player. So shows what I know, everybody. So
That
So
was actually
awesome.
kind of fun. Especially that you
yeah,
thought Matt was the it's actually so fun doing that and not knowing.
yeah. I had no clue, but I would have
I
bet
kinda wish I didn't know.
any amount of money that that dude on the left was the bass player, 100%.
I
Now
don't
he's got a
want to.
big fro. He's got a big curly head of hair, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to keep y'all any longer than y'all have allotted the time, and I appreciate y'all having me. I want to tell a story real quick about Glenn that I don't know
Let's
Oh,
if
do it.
he's shared with you. I was listening to Glenn's episode, the first one, and when he mentioned "Downfall of Us All," I remember in 2016, I drove with Glenn. Was that no? I flew out there. Yeah, I flew out there, and we went and saw Blink in San Diego. And
oh no, dude, that was when we drove, bro. Because you came with me when I moved back out there. Yeah, and we drove, dude, to California to LA to drop all my stuff off, and then we drove down to San Diego.
but see,
Hmm.
I thought we drove down to San Diego for the Bro-Am in Encinitas, and then and then uh, it doesn't matter. I'm getting the timelines mixed up. We went
No,
to
dude, I think
Encinitas.
you're right, actually. You did
I
fly
because
out for that. Yeah, because we
I
did drive down to see
yeah,
Switchfoot. We have so
yeah.
many great memories, bro.
But I
Dang,
remember us
that's crazy.
driving. I
Yeah.
remember us driving over to the venue, and we were listening to that album, and "A Downfall of Us All" comes on, and I had never heard "A Day to Remember." Maybe I had, but Glenn was like, when you hear everybody go da 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 da," he was like, "The place is gonna go nuts," and he was absolutely right. And I was talking about this the other day with someone. Like, we were right up on the rail, dead
Oh, geez.
center
Yeah.
stage, and Blink was amazing. A Day to Remember was amazing. But my favorite moment of the whole night was when All American Rejects come out, and Tyson, whatever his last name is, three
Yep.
feet in front of us. And I thought of this earlier too. We were talking about, like, whenever you go see a show, you're just like watching the drummer or watching the bass
Hmm.
player. Like, I go study. Like, I'm never in the pit. I'm never like losing my mind. Like, I go there and I'm like watching and absorbing. Like, I'm obsessive. And but I like to think that Glenn was doing that, because Tyson looks down at Glenn, and he had his sleeve at the time, and he goes, "What's wrong? Uh, Sleeve, tattoo, face, or no? What did he say?
I think he
What's
just said
wrong,
like
sleeve?
tattoo guy, tough guy or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What's wrong,
He
rock
mentioned
star,
the
sleeve,
tattoos.
tattoo guy? You not having a good time?"
Yeah.
And the
He was
whole
dude,
place,
he was
dude. I
mad because
found
like
it.
he was so mad because like I tell Sid this, I was like, bro, that album, the All American Rejects Move Along album is like top tier. And I listened to that and like that's a good album, but now I can't listen to All American Rejects the same because I was like, bro, I was so mad because I was like, every song that they sung before the one song I knew, but it was like their new stuff. And he's like, oh, you're not having a good time now? And I was like, bro. And then Travis was like, yo, chill, bro. They were all laughing at me. I was like, you're tripping, bro.
I found
Yeah.
it. So I found a clip. I'll send it to y'all. I found a
Yeah.
video from someone from that same show of that moment, and I was like, I was
Send
right
it to
there,
me, and I
dude.
will
Yeah,
put it in
bro.
the notes. I will put it in the notes on the YouTube video. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
send it
crazy.
Yeah.
along.
Actually, I think you should tell the story too about when we saw Blink at Circuit of America
Oh yes,
in Austin.
yes. So, um, uh, very quickly after Dave Douglas was the epitome of the drummer to me, I became a big Travis Barker fan, and
How can you not be?
um, and yeah, and I wish we had time to get into the top 10, because I put plus 44 on there, which is
Yeah.
I'm that's a whole nother story. Anyway,
album.
Glenn and I went to Circuit of the Americas in Austin and saw Blink play at X Games, and um, at the very end of "Stay Together for the Kids," Travis stands up and throws a stick out, and we're in the pit, maybe 10 feet, 15 feet from the stage, and it's as though it's slowed down, and I see the stick come flipping at us, and it lands. There's a scuffle. The spotlight hits our section, and I see it, and I reach down and I grab it and I shove it down my pants. and
Heyo.
and this dude turns around in front of Glenn, and he goes, "Hey man, let me just see this real quick." And Glenn's like looking up at him like, "Back up, bro." Back up, dude. Like my bodyguard, man. It was so
Hey, I was
funny.
ready to brawl, bro. I think that guy was scared too, bro. I was ready. I was like, nothing's getting in between my boy and his drumstick, bro.
Yeah,
He's small, but he's scrappy. He's small,
and
but he's
it's-
scrappy.
it stayed in my waistband until we got to the car. And I found a clip of that too. It's somewhere on YouTube, but
He's got a splinter
Anyway.
in his pelvis forever
Heyo.
from that.
Heyo. Yeah, worth it. No regrets.
Yeah, straight up. You
No
guys have
regrets.
both gotten to experience some of my favorite bands with me. Have fun.
Fun.
Heck yeah. Well, yeah, I think we could definitely wrap, but that was fun, dude. Great to see you, man. Thanks for taking the time to hang out and join us. We're definitely excited that you got to actually be the first guest that wasn't us. So,
which
yeah.
is an honor, man. The pleasure's mine. You and I have talked about this for a long time, and it's been a long time coming. So the fact that y'all asked me, I mean, I know I said I wanted to be a guest, but the fact that y'all asked me, especially this early on, is a great privilege. So thank you for having me.
Happy to have
Dude,
you.
wouldn't have it.
Glad
Yeah,
it
man.
happened.
Wouldn't have it any other way. You made this fun. You did a podcast for a while, so it's not new to you, but yeah, it's a good time, and also like fun getting to hear like all this. There's some stuff I didn't even know where I'm like, oh, this is sweet. You know, you'd all email for your friend because you're like, dang, bro, this album
That's
meant
my
that
boy.
much to you.
That's my
Yeah.
boy.
You're my
We
boy, Blue.
Yeah, we can wig out more later. There's plenty more for both of us, all three of us, to talk about. So
We should do a group chat about We Don't Need to Whisper. I think that would be awesome because I've definitely got some stories about that summer and that album and playing drums. Group chat.
Game on.
Do
We
it
Don't Need
for
to
me
Whisper.
now.
Let's do it.
Do it for me now.
I can't do it for you right now because I'm doing dinner, but I will.
It
do
would
it for
be
you
the
at some
gift.
point. Oh, I see what you did.
Honestly, I think we'll have a great adventure. You know,
I was gonna say
getting in
it'll
there.
be an adventure. I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
All
All right.
right.
I'll get the group chat started.
This album changed my life.
It's my dog.
Relient K, The Anatomy of the Tongue-in-Cheek. Travis Davis at the TravDav on YouTube, at the TravDav on Instagram, and make sure if you see this on YouTube to check the show notes because there will be a video of Glenn getting yelled at by homeboy from All American Rejects. So
I'm
he's
on it.
mad.
I'll find it.
Glenn's mad. He left. Glenn couldn't hear
No,
me.
my dog's got something, and I don't know what.
All right. This album changed my life at This Album Changed My Life on Instagram and YouTube. If you saw this on YouTube, thanks for watching. Next day, tomorrow, if you're watching the live, it'll be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So we'll let you know. Keep an eye on the account. We'll let you know when we got another episode who it's going to be, what we're talking about. So thanks, everyone. Peace.
All right.
Later, guys.
Much love.